Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Very important video. If you have never seen my work before, you need to know how to gematria. In the description below the video, in the YouTube link that says how to gematria, I teach the skill in that video. Gematria is the practice of coding numbers into words. It is thousands of years old, very much celebrated by Pythagoras, and it is used every day in mainstream media. Headlines are so often coded with gematria. Made a video yesterday on the May 19th, 2016 disappearance of Flight 804 EgyptAir traveling from Paris to Cairo. I have that video linked in the description as well. Lots of information. One of the things I talked about was the parallels between the plane and President Obama. If you're new to my channel, I show how the mainstream media contrives propaganda on the daily. Sometimes the propaganda is much bigger, such as this missing plane story, an international story, and it is international propaganda. This flight does not exist. It is made up. It is a riddle connecting to a story to come. And I think I have figured out what that story is. I think it has to do with Obama's May 23rd and 24th visit to Vietnam, something that was just changed in his schedule. So what we're looking at right here is the CNN front page. Yesterday, I said this plane having parallels with Obama in the White House. Today, the other big news story is a shooting at the White House. In February, I said there's a lot being riddled in the media through propaganda news stories for a major assassination around May 23rd, potentially the 44th president, Mr. Obama, also potentially somebody running for president, such as Donald Trump. In 1968, there were two major political assassinations, Bobby Kennedy and Martin Luther King Jr. Lots of parallels between the year 1968 and both Obama and Donald Trump, as I have well covered on this channel. Anyhow, this headline that's on CNN right now, smoke before crash, I want to show you what's up with this. They're saying the evidence is looking like a terrorist bomb took down the plane. Of course, this is part of the contrived narrative of lies by Western governments, duping the people that they govern over into thinking there is this Islamic threat that is threatening the world, that is evading security and constantly has innocent people under attack. These are lies. This is misinformation. This is all part of the ongoing agenda that goes back to September 11th and really even decades before that. So let's check this out. Using the language of gematria, there is a parallel to Obama and this headline, smoke before crash. Not to mention at the recent White House Correspondents' Dinner, one of the big jokes was that Obama's this closet smoker. Anyhow, smoke before crash has gematria of 163, just like Barack Hussein Obama equals 163. The number 163 is the 38th prime number, a number connected to death. Remember the Malaysian plane that disappeared March 8th, 38, kind of like 38. These stories are directly connected. They are 804 days apart. They're both missing planes in water. Flight 804 coming 804 days later. So real quick, just show you this. Number 163, the 38th prime. Numbers very much attached to death are 38 and 44. Death equals 38. Kill equals 44. Obama ran on hope and change. The word hope has gematria of 44. The word change has gematria of 38. Numbers connected to death, numbers that Obama, the 44th president, ran on. The word smoke alone has gematria of 63, just like Paris. As I've been explaining, 63 is a big number in 2016. If you add every number up to 63, 1 plus 2 plus 3, all the way up to 63, it sums to 2016, like the year on the Gregorian calendar that most of us use. So real quick, this is flight 804. if you write out 84, a lot like 804, it sums to 804 in English gematria. Yesterday I was explaining 84 and 804, special numbers. United States of America equals 84. If you've never read the science fiction novel written after World War II, 1984, it's about a nation a lot like the United States of America, or even the UK, warmongering nations, constantly at war, lots of propaganda for the people. 804 days from the disappearance of Flight MH-370, the Malaysian Airlines, to yesterday's disappearance of the EgyptAir line. Now they're saying a bomb took down the plane. We just talked about how 84 connects to 804 like the flight. Bomb in Jewish gematria equals 84, just like Obama in Jewish gematria equals 84. Obama's traveling to Vietnam on May 23rd, a day I've been saying to look out for, and this is a new change in his plans. Vietnam is an Asian nation. Asian has gematria of 44. The word kill equals 44. May 23rd is the 144th day of the year. When you write out 44, it sums to 144. Obama will be visiting May 23rd in Vietnam, the 144th day of the year. This year, May 23rd is also a date with 44 numerology. 5 plus 23 plus 16 equals 44, plus it's the 144th day of the year. The last president to die in office was JFK, the 35th president, but also the 44th term president. He died on the first day of Sagittarius, having gematria of 144. His brother Bobby Kennedy would die at 1:44 a.m. The first president to die in office died April 4th. That was William Henry Harrison. He was the 9th president, first to die in office. The next president to die in office will be the 9th. Think about how Obama's number 44. The first headline that CNN put up about EgyptAir disappearing was this. And this headline had gematria of 118. The word death also sums to 118. 38 and 118, numbers connected to death. And here they are coded into both headlines. Again, Malaysian Airlines disappeared on March 8th over water. Show you what's up with the word water and March 8th. March 8th is the 67th day of the year. 67th day of the year, the Malaysian Airlines disappeared into water. So did this plane. March 8th is also International Women's Day. The only reason I'm bringing up International Women's Day is just because there's a female running for president, Hillary Clinton. Very likely she will win. Somehow she might fit into all of this ritual as well. Her maiden name is Hillary Rodham, which has gematria of 144. If Obama is able to finish his term, she will likely be the person to follow, becoming the 44th person to be president. Right now, Obama's number 44, but he's only the 43rd person because Grover Cleveland counted as 22 and 24. Next person to follow Obama will be the 44th. And we should also acknowledge that the vice president, President Biden, if anything happened to Obama, President Biden also sums to 144. So does his wife's full name, which is very interesting. Not his original wife. When he first became a politician, his wife and child died in a deadly car accident by the numbers, something I covered in a video around his birthday in November. Also, EgyptAir has this gematria of 47, so does the word president, so does the word France. The plane departed from France on the way to Cairo. Paris to Cairo, the destination. The takeoff place to the destination, gematria of 144. We talked about what's significant about 63. Yesterday, the day of this news, Morley Safer dropped dead at age 84. CBS longtime newsman does 60 Minutes every week. I'm sure most people recognize Morley Safer. Very interesting name. They say one of the first rules in mainstream journalism is you lose your real last name. I think Morley Safer might have lost the first and the last name. But let me show you what's up with his death yesterday on the same day that Flight 804 disappeared. Morley Safer has name gematria of 56 and 65. Paris, France equals 56. ISIS equals 56, who this will likely be blamed on. ISIS is a made-up boogeyman. Think about when the ISIS news came into mainstream media. At the end of 2013, Obama and John Kerry beat the war drum, doing their Bush administration impression, saying we needed to go to war with Syria. And the mainstream media told us that the people weren't into it, it wasn't going to happen. But then right away, we started getting the propaganda about ISIS out of Syria, where we were just almost about to go to war with. I mean, it's just so transparent how they do this to us. And the lesson, or what they will show us is, back in 2013, we could have gone in, but the public support wasn't there. Now it is. Anyway, Morley safer, gematria 56, like Paris, France, like ISIS, also like president, one of those numbers with 11 numerology. Morley safer in simple English gematria sums to 137, the 33rd prime number. Dead at age 84 on the same day Flight 804 disappears. Notice that his birthday is November 8th, which this year is the upcoming election. On May 23rd, Budweiser's changing their can to America by the numbers. I have a video on that. They're doing it through the election November 8th. And think about that date, 11/8. A lot like 118 for 118 for death. And just for the record, there's a lot of parallels between Obama and Lincoln. I have videos on this. Obama from the land of Lincoln. Lincoln was assassinated after he was reelected November 8th. So there's been an assassination in a year with a November 8th election in history. Number connected to death. Morley safer, from his 84th birthday to the day he died, was a span of 193 days. 193 is the 44th prime number. 44, the kill number. 193, the 44th prime. I don't think he died naturally. Also, May 19th is typically the 139th day of the year, a re-scrambling of these numbers, a number connected to Freemasonry. It is the Freemasons who operate by this code. The date he was born on, November 8th, 1931, a date with a life lesson number of 33. Yesterday, he died, the day of the disappearing plane, a date with a life lesson number of 33. Whole lot of 33, always coded into these plane hoaxes. Malaysian Airlines, this one, and everyone in between. Also, yesterday, a date with 40 numerology. If you write out 40 as a word, it sums to 84 in gematria. I can just show you this. 40 equals 84. United States equals 40. United States of America equals 84. You need to do that in Pythagorean gematria, though it won't work on this website. I'll just show you this real quick. 40 and 84, numbers that have a relationship connected to yesterday's date and the flight. 40 in simple English gematria sums to 84. If you write United States in Pythagorean gematria, whoops. Sometimes it does that, I hate that. Okay, so there's United States spelled correctly, 40. United States of America, 84. You write out 40, it sums to 84. Yesterday's date, numbers coded all over the date. Morley safer, dead on this day, at 84. A date with 40 numerology. From yesterday to his upcoming birthday was a span of 173 days, and 173 is the 40th prime. This is how Morley safer died at age 84. Completely by the numbers on a very specific date. And again, the date of this plane. And think about it. This is a newsman. This is a man who works for CBS, the All-Seeing Eye Network. All-Seeing Eye equals 119. I documented how during the last football season, 119 days till the Super Bowl, CBS was sure to document. They didn't do that any other week of the season. Just the day that it was 119 days till. All-Seeing Eye equals 119. Think about CBS's symbol. Truly the All-Seeing Eye. And who controls the media? The Zionist Jews. They always have. Even before there was TV. They had the papers, the magazines, the radio. Star of David, 119. This is their ball game. They created this language. Show you something else. Jewish equals 74. English equals 74. Gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words, equals 74. Masonic. Gematria is completely based on the alphabetic order. 74. This is a very real system, a very old system. It's used every day in the ways I am showing you. So now check this out. Obama is supposed to go to Vietnam May 23rd. It's supposed to be a schedule change, something that wasn't planned. Let's look at this. I've been saying to look out for this date, May 23rd, for an assassination possibly since February. Now I also want to bring up that these numbers, they're not always just about assassination. The word time has Jewish gematria of 144. A lot of times major events in history have this number scripted into them. It doesn't necessarily have to be an assassination, but it is a common number around assassination. So perhaps something big will happen in the world at this time aside from assassination. There's other possibilities, but it seems something is definitely in the works. Let's look at this. May 23rd, the 144th day of the year, a date with 44 numerology. When you write out 44, it sums to 144. In history, here's what it is for presidents. Lincoln dreamed on April 4th, a date with 144 gematria, that he would be shot. He would be shot 10 days later. 10 days later has gematria of 144. He was shot April 14th, which in most parts of the world is written 14/4, a lot like 144. He was shot in a theater by an actor. Think about it. He was watching the play My American Cousin, written by the British about a character named Honest Asa. Honest Abe got shot during a play about Honest Asa called My American Cousin. And the play's about a goofy American who goes over to his British royal family that he is connected to through birth to claim his land right. If you think about it, you can probably understand the monumental mocking that is at play. The Zionists, the banker tyrants who create war for power, control, the way this world operates, they are largely based out of the UK and Britain and their territories, but they're also in other Western governments. But this is what it's always been. History by the numbers. And there's way more to that play than I'm telling you. It's all in the book that I got coming. So much information. The days of coincidence are almost over. You know, for all the people who come here and say this is a coincidence, those days are so close to being done. Obama, he ran on hope. Remember the image? Hope 44, kill 44, 44th president. Going to Vietnam, Asian country, Malaysian plane. Think about it. Vietnam was in that story at the beginning. Obama is also the 44th president, but if you learn your history, there were 14 presidents before George Washington. George Washington, truly the 15th president of the entire history of the country, making Obama truly the 58th. And here's what I want to show you. Ford's Theater is where Lincoln was assassinated. Before he was assassinated, exactly 216 weeks earlier, he was nearly assassinated at the Willard Hotel. Freemasonry equals 58. Obama's born on the 216th day of the year. There were 216 weeks between assassination attempts on Lincoln. Unsuccessful at the Willard Hotel, successful at Ford's Theater. Obama, when he became president, the first thing he did in the month of February was reopen Ford's Theater where Lincoln was assassinated. He did that on the 42nd day of the year, February 11th. It was also a date with 42 numerology. From May 23rd to July 4th of this year, the nation's birthday, is a span of 42 days. The nation is currently 239 years old. I've been saying that I expect something very huge to happen in the 239th year. It very well could happen as soon as May 23rd. If it doesn't happen then, my eyes are going to be peeled until July 4th. 239, a very special number to the Masons and Zionists. It's a lot to explain, but that's where we are. I talked about it deeper in yesterday's video. Remember the Malaysian plane that disappeared March 8th, 2014, that had 239 people on the plane. Yesterday's plane took off at 23:09 military time. So Obama, he's going to land in Hanoi, and he's going to go to Ho Chi Minh City. And he's going to go to Ho Chi Minh City the day after May 23rd. But check this out. Hanoi equals 47 like president, like EgyptAir, like mafia, like obey, like authority, special number. Ho Chi Minh City has this gematria of 144. How about that? And of course, Vietnam is 84, another special number. While he's there, he's supposed to talk about the Trans-Pacific Partnership, and maybe that's really what it's all about, you know? Maybe it's really just about our further enslavement and what's coming for us. This trade deal is about growing the Masonic one world order, tyranny overall, you know? Oppressive laws, oppressive wages. That's what this is all about. If you have not seen my video on the Trans-Pacific Partnership, you know, look at it. It has this gematria of 119, the number for all-seeing eye, Star of David. When they signed it by the numbers. I did a video on this in February. They signed it on the 174th meridian. New World Order equals 174, so does number of the beast, which means 666. This happened on the 36th meridian as well. When you sum 1 through 36, it adds up to 666. Auckland, gematria of 67, like Freemasonry, like the date the plane disappeared. So much more. But this is how the New World Order operates by the numbers. From the date they drew this up to the date it was signed, a span of 123 days like conspiracy. Notice also 17 weeks and 4 days, like 174. You know, where we started. Signing it on the 174th meridian. New World Order operating by their numerological code. Think about Christine Lagarde at, what's it called? The National Press Club a few years back, talking about the significance of numerology to world powers, world banking. And if your head feels like you're in the twilight zone right now, maybe your head's spinning on your shoulders, you know, in a way we really are, and it's the Freemasons who have built this twilight zone around us. Show you this. The twilight zone in gematria equals 84. United States of America equals 84. Serling, Rod Serling is who made this show. Serling equals 84. If you watch the Twilight Zone and you decode the character names in gematria, you will see that every episode the character's name syncs up with a word that the show's about. Like, for example, if the show's about death, the character's name equals 38. Again and again. Fourth episode right here, it's 84 degrees, and it is lovely. You see what it's all about? Always been this way. The pilot for the Twilight Zone came out in 58. Freemasonry equals 58. The name Rod Serling the Small Way equals 58. Pilots about going to the moon, something that would happen a decade later, by the numbers, by the Masonic numbers. Freemasons run NASA. So I think we covered it all. This is truly a hoax story. It is scripting. It is foreshadowing for something much bigger to come. That could be as soon as Monday and Tuesday when Obama is in Vietnam. September 11th happened on a Tuesday. A lot of bad things happen on a Tuesday. Voting day is Tuesday. He's going to be in Vietnam Monday and Tuesday. And just know, your media is fake. It is scripted. It is planned. This plane is part of that scripting. This White House shooting is nothing more than a police drill and fear-mongering put out. And it's all done by the numbers. And if you want to learn more about it, how to gematria in the description. Till next time. Encore, something I forgot to talk about, an earlier headline from today when they first said they found debris of the plane. The headline had gematria 54 and 63. We talked about 63. 54 also stands out. I've been saying this for more than a year. There seems to be a lot coded for an Obama planned assassination. I've explained how 54 is connected to ritual sacrifice. Obama's currently 54 years old. The name Obama reminds many people of Osama, as in Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden was killed in the month of May, May 2nd, at the age of 54. Osama bin Laden was supposedly 44 years old when September 11th happened. The World Trade Centers opened in history on April 4th, 1973, 5 years after the assassination of MLK. Obama was killed, or not Obama, excuse me. Osama was killed exactly 119 weeks after Obama took office. And I think this was all part of a long, planned, and scripted event. Look at the parallels between Osama bin Laden and President. The World Trade Centers were 110 stories tall, buildings 1 and 2. Building 7 that fell 8 hours later in the day was 47 floors tall. Each floor 47,000 square feet, named after a man born on April 7th in history, plus more. Very special numbers. So just think about it. 9/11, planes, Osama, Obama. This is all part of a monumental mocking of the masses, an ongoing scheme, an agenda that has been waged by the numbers all this time. From Osama to Obama, they have people that play the puppets, the parts of this narrative. And it's a narrative that's used to, steer humanity. We've been steered onto the path of war, surveillance over the people, less spending on education, more on military and police. And it's been all based on lies, deceit, misinformation, a planned agenda. This is what it is right now with Flight 804, the very latest. And surely there will be more to come. And of course, by the numbers. Until next time.